Hi everyone, just wanted to give a quick video on my best of collection. I had quite a few questions around it, sort of how to use it, what's in it, do I have to use it with RetroX or can I use it elsewhere? So basically, just want to give you a quick view of what's in it, how to use it, how to import it into RetroX, or how to do whatever you want with it basically. So you can see on screen at the moment, this is my the drive. If you've got access to it, you got access to it. You know how to get access to it. I'm not going to sort of explain that in here, but just to explain the kind of the way it's laid out. Like I say, it came from RetroX. That's basically the app, the front end. I've been using on Android at the time, so that's kind of where it comes from. And the reason it's laid out as it is there's a certain folder structure that RetroX looks for, supports to make it really easy for importing games. If you have your games basically in the right named folders, it'll auto add them without the need to go through and add more manually. So that's why the names are how they are for each folder. I mean, you probably find this on most front ends, most systems. They look for certain folders, and most of these folder names are probably the same. There might be a couple that differ. For example, DC in this case is Dreamcast. Atari is actually Atari 5200. Obviously 3DO is Panasonic 3DO. I think that they're all fairly straightforward. Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color. Obviously Genesis. In reality, it's the artwork and the stuff inside there is all for Mega Drive. Also, I'm from the UK, so I know it as the Mega Drive. Jaguar, Lynx, MSX, Nintendo 64. It's all PSP, PSX, PlayStation 1. It's all fairly standard. So the way I've laid it out is each one of these zip files contains the games for that particular system. So you download one, extract it. I mean, obviously you can download them all if you want. As a quick demo, I'm just going to download one of the smallest ones, which is the Atari 2600. So just to right-click download, it's going to pop it down for me. I'm actually going to save that into a temporary folder here. And you can see behind it's come down. So I've got this this empty folder here. So the way RetroX works is that if you run it on Android, and it looks by default for a folder on the root of your storage, whether that's USB or SD or internal storage to your device, looks for a folder called RetroX in the root, and then looks for a certain folder structure underneath it for the games. Obviously, you can still add, if you've got games elsewhere in a different folder or on a shared drive somewhere, you can still point RetroX at them. That's fine, it'll work. But you just have to add each one manually. If you do this, it's all automatic. So that's kind of the principle I followed. So within here, I've still got the Atari 2600 folder. So if I just open this, type in the password. Good start. I'll type in the password correctly. Third time's a charm. That's my obviously me just trying to talk and type at the same time don't work. So as I say, inside the zip file you have a folder, which is that the folder name that RetroX looks for. So I'm just going to drag this into here. It's going to extract it. I can close this down now, and just tidy up, I can get rid of the zip file. So now I've got my first system in there. So RetroX folder inside there, Atari 2600 inside there are all the games for it. And as you download more systems, you'll end up with the other folders here. DC for Dreamcast, PSX for PlayStation, and if you want to grab everything, you'll end up with, I think, approximately 27 folders. There's 27 systems that RetroX supports. That's the other thing. That's why there's 27 systems and platforms. What you want to call them. That's basically the number that RetroX at the time of making this supports. So it covers pretty much all the most popular systems. So I think it's definitely good to get started. So like I say, I'm just going to do the one for now. And then the other part to download is the artwork, and that's very similar. So if we look in here, there's actually a separate folder called artwork, and then within there this breaks down into images. So all your static images like your box art, your snapshot, title, logo are in there, and videos are in here. So if we look in videos first, again this is the same sort of format. There's a folder or a zip file containing a folder for each individual system. So I think again there's 27 of them, and obviously these vary in size depending on the number of games in there. Of course, there's an MP4 in here for each game. And if we go back up to artwork for images, like I say, there's 5 different types of artwork that you can support in Retrorex, and obviously in most front ends, the box artwork, the clear logo, or the wheel, as you might know it in Hyperspin or other front ends. Snapshot, in-game snapshot. The title is the title screen for the game when it loads. I could have broken these down even further to sort of a zip per system, but again, that's another 27 zip files and folders times 5. And I thought, these aren't particularly big. They're sort of roughly a gig and downwards, so I thought probably a fairly good size. So for these ones, what I've done, I've already downloaded them. You see here, I've got the Atari one, that's 75 meg. That's the videos, and then I've downloaded the box really, logo, etc. For everything else. And then all you want to do is extract it. So if I do the videos first, if I go into the Atari one, let's see if I can type the password correctly first time. So we've got, again, a folder of 2600. So what we do in our Retrorex folder, in here we need to create a new folder called artwork. Haha, I really can't talk and type. There we go, artwork. And then in here we just create those 2 folders which match what is on the drive, which is images, and then another new one called videos. So we're doing the videos now, so we just go into the videos folder, grab the Atari 2600, pop it in there. So now we have our root folder, artwork, videos, system name, and all the videos for that particular system. And again, as you download more, these will build up. You'll have up to 27 folders in here, depending on what systems you want. And then for the images, we go back to artwork, images, and then we'll just close this off. Actually, sorry, I'll go back to downloads. Let's do box first. And then we go back to Retrorex, artwork, images, pick up box, drop it in there. Obviously, because it's a relatively small size compared to everything else, that box folder actually contains the 2D box artwork for all systems. So if you go in here, you'll then see the 27 folders, and we go to 2600. And here's all the 2D box artwork for the 2600. And for Dreamcast as well, and for everything. So this is the best way to do it. It means that you can have all the artwork there up front, and if you decide to add extra systems, you just drop the game files in, and all the artwork's already there, which is handy. So what I will do is just quickly do the rest. Although rather than extracting it all, I'll cheat and just take a copy that I've already got extracted. So we've done box. There's the other 4. So I'm cheating a little bit here. Rather than you want to sit there and watch me go through and unzip a whole bunch of files. So images, and then we'll just paste that in there. It is copying the copy dialog is in a different screen, which is why you can't see it on the video. Yeah, so hopefully this helps people just understand what's in the collection, and how to extract it and how to use it. The actual collection itself, like I say, it's 20 different systems and platforms, and what I did for each one is because I had a massive collection of pretty much full ROM sets for each one. Tens of thousands of games, and trying to browse through them and pick them. Half of them either were just rubbish games that I would never play or had no interest in, Some maybe didn't work properly. So some MAME games don't always work 100%, even though they're in the ROM set. So what I want to do is basically cut that down, just have the best of collection. It's easy to navigate, easy to manage, and just might have a better chance of finding a game I like and playing. So what I did was add all my games into Launchbox for Windows. And then when in there, they've got a setting called Community Star Rating, and then I pretty much just sorted the list with the top rated at the top, and then just grabbed the first either 50 or 100 from each system, depending on the size of them. Some of the systems like PlayStation and PSP that use ISOs and disk images are quite big, so I think for them I reduced it down sort of 50 odd games for each one. And for the rest that are smaller, like the Mega Drive, Master System, NES, those types where the ROMs aren't particularly big, I did the top 100. I made sure that all the ones that I recognise in there, the ones that I liked are in there, and they are. So I think they're quite a good collection. The only slight difference was the arcade games. So for Final Burn and MAME. There's actually a forum link I found. I can't remember the name of the forum now, but some guy put together a no filler script, which basically had roughly 600 games that he had called out as the best games, the games you need for arcade. And then basically you create a little script file, you drop that into your ROMs folder, run that, and it'll copy out just those 600 games from a full set. And then that's what I've used for the collection. And again, I've been through that, and pretty much all my favourites are in there. All the popular ones you've heard of are in there. So yeah, that's how I create the best of collection. And I think in total it's just over 3,000 games. So still quite a few. Still good choice, good selection in there. So yeah, that's kind of what it is and how to use it. Like I say, it's the naming convention, the layout of the folders and files is based on Retrorex and what it supports, what you expect to see. But there's absolutely no reason why you can't take the ROM files and import them into another front end. The artwork you might have to put into different folders. You might have to rename it slightly. I know there's other front ends which sort of name the file slightly differently with like hyphen thumb or hyphen box art or something like that. You might have to just do a bit of renaming, but at least you're using this collection. That's one thing I wanted to make sure it had 100% artwork. So every single game has box art, 3D box art, a snapshot, a title, a logo, and a video snap, and they're all complete. Which I say took quite a bit of time and effort, but got there in the end. So that's I guess for the collection. And then the next bit I was going to show is probably more for the Retrorex guys. It's basically how to add it into Retrorex itself and how to get the games recognised. So I'm running Windows 11 here, and I've got Retrorex running as an app, as an Android app. It's a preview feature, and it seems to run quite well. So basically, this is what I've got here is just it's a fresh install of Retrorex. It's completely blank. There's no games. It's in the standard sort of phone tablet view. And you can see it's pretty much empty. So the folder structure that I was talking about is a system or a way of adding games in Retrorex known as the Retrorex collection. So if you go into collection, actually no, wrong screen, go up here to add games, and you've got manage folders. So this is what I was saying. It's looking on the root of say SD card or storage a folder called Retrorex, and so that's if it finds that folder, it will then look inside it for the folder structure I'm creating up here, and automatically add all the games for you. So in this case, it's found it, and if you click on it, you do get an option of I found it here. Do you want me to create a missing folder? So if you've created it initially, it's found it, and you should have a folder for each system. So you should have 27 folders in there. If you've got a couple missing, it can go and create them for you. But obviously, I don't need to. I've done all that. It's all ready. So that's kind of where you start off, completely blank, completely empty. And then what I'll do is, obviously this file copy is nearly finished of all the artwork. What I'll do is start by copying some stuff in here. So if you're on your Android box, there's another app I recommend, a file manager called Explore. This is what I use to manage the files, copy them in and out. So on the left hand screen you see I've got my internal storage, the SD card, and you can see there I've got a Retrorex folder. It's empty at the moment, nothing in it. And then over on this side, you can browse to wherever you want to get the files in. So to get the files onto Android box, you've probably got a few different options. I think most people would probably put it onto a USB stick and plug it into Android box, or if you've got a home network set up on the LAN like I have, you can access a file share, copy it across that way. So that's what I'm going to do. So on my local network, I've got this TrueNAS box, and under here I've got the Retrex folder. In a minute you'll see everything that's laid out on here. So it's in the right format, much like the folder I'm starting to create here. So 2600, you see you've got, just about to see that, there's 100 games in there. So what I'm going to do is just take that folder, tick that, and click copy, and it'll copy to whatever folder you've got selected over here. So you can see I've got Retrex selected, click OK. That's going to copy those games over onto my Android box, in this case my virtual Android box. And there you can see Atari 2600. And then what I'm going to do quickly on the Retrex side, sorry, on the Android box side, is create a new folder called artwork. And then under the artwork, I'm going to create another folder called images and one called videos. So now you can see I've got that folder structure that we were looking for. And then under images, what I can do is go to artwork on this side, and then pretty much I'll copy the whole lot over. If you click here, then click here again, it then selects all the subfolders. So this is now on my NAS box. I've got under artwork images, I've got all the different artwork, and on my Android box side, I'm under the same folder. So if I just click copy, it's going to copy all those over here. Click on OK. So that is going to take a little while. So what I'll quickly do, without any fancy editing, is I'll just pause the video and then start recording again once it's copied over. Right, there we go, that's all copied over. So now on our Android box we have the artwork, we have all the images, static images, and then what I quickly do is the videos, but just for the 2600, because if I sit here and did the whole lot, it'll take quite a while. So hopefully this will be quite quick. So Atari 2600, take that folder, make sure we're in videos over here, copy, yeah. This one should be slightly quicker. You can also see in the background here the extraction and copy that I was doing to sort of demo the folder layout is finished. So as soon as it's done, I'll have a quick look at that one as well, just to kind of see what we're seeing. So like I say, yeah, so once you've extracted it all, under your artwork folder, you'll have your images and videos. Videos will be a folder per system, and inside there, all the videos. For images, 5 subfolders: 2D box art, 3D box art, logo, snapshot, and game title. Go into each one of these folders. They then have a subfolder per system, and within there you have all the for here 2D box art. In here, let's pick DC. Is all the 3D box art. So you can see it all kind of, it's laid out logically. In here again is all the logos, and so on and so forth. So you kind of see how it's all laid out. As long as you have it laid out like this, it should all work in Retrex, which is what I'm going to test now. So I've covered everything across, so get this out of the way. Let's flick back to our Retrex, and then if I just do add force a rescan, to say yeah, rescan all systems. It'll go through and it knows to look in those folders. It should rescan. Normally I find you have to then close your Retrorex and relaunch. So I'll just close that, and then I'll just relaunch it again. Relaunch on the wrong screen. And now see suddenly we have some games in there, and obviously we only added the 2600. You have the option here to pick all the different systems, so let's go 2600. Let's show all the games, and as you can see all the artwork is there. You click it. It's a little bit slow because it's running an emulator, and obviously these are basic screenshots. But also the other thing to note is obviously this is first launch of Retrorex, and in the standard view. But if we change, if we go into settings, obviously if you run it on your phone, you probably want to keep it in this view. It works better with touchscreen, etc. But if you're running on a TV box or connected TV or your phone with an external controller, I'd definitely recommend switching display into themes mode. So you're in phone tablet at the moment, but if you're TV mode with themes, say yep, okay, and then we need to close it and relaunch it. And what it will do now, if I do it properly, now it loads in themes mode. And also this is one I've just done for Retrorex, a Christmas theme. You can see if I go to 2600, we now have all the games listed, and they've got the 3D box art, they've got the video, they've got the logo in use. When you flip to a game, you get one for each one. Only a lot of the themes you can choose not to have the videos. You haven't got the room for them. In that case, it'll just show one of the screenshots instead, the in-game snap rather than a video. So it's up to you. But yeah, so that's it working. And just to show, if I go to a different system, let me go like Dreamcast. Yeah, I can't get into it. It says at the bottom here, no games available. So we know we've got all the artwork there ready, but we just don't have the game. So it's quite easy. If I then go back to the games over here, I want to pick one that's fairly Game Boy Advanced. A bit bigger, aren't they? Let's go Game Boy Color. Yeah, they're a lot smaller. So over here in my Retrorex folder, I'll just pick up my Game Boy Color folder and we'll copy that over. 10 meg. Sorry, 100 meg. Not very big. But we'll copy that over. It takes a few seconds. Obviously, if you're copying all the systems over one go, it's going to take a little while. But it's just a one-off copy. Right, so that's done. Go back to Retrorex here, and now we go back to Manage Games. Do force rescan, just all systems. Let's see if it needs. Also, you can see this blue highlight here. This isn't there in normal. I think it's just because it's running through the emulator. So what do I do? Game Boy Color, wasn't it? Yeah, you can see it's had all the games are there now. The 100 games, all the artwork's already there because we copied it across. And what you notice with these ones, because I've only done the artwork, I haven't done the videos for this one. So, like I say, you don't have to have the videos. I think it makes it look a lot nicer. And if you don't have the videos, you just get the title screen instead. So you got the choice whether you want to do videos or not. I mean, on the grand scheme of things, they're not very big, the video files. Obviously, I think it's a couple of gig. It's not huge, but you might have a box that doesn't have a great deal of storage, so you could choose not to have the videos and just have the static images. Still looks pretty good. It's a lot better than not having artwork. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's it now running in Retrorex. And like I say, you know, this is a theme I put on there. Yeah, I'm not no way officially affiliated with Retrorex. I just kind of, you know, I started off as a user. I've been using it for quite a few years now. Then I started dabbling in themes, and I've done quite a few themes now. Just upload them for the community. Um, so yeah, that was the Christmas one I've done. Graffiti is quite a nice one. It's quite small. Let's see if I can quickly click on that, download it. Yeah, another good feature within Retrorex is just you want to do a theme. Everything's included in there. Everything's built in. So you want to download a theme, you can browse them, click them, install them from here. You can uninstall them from here as well. If you didn't use my artwork set and you were adding, you know, other systems, or you know, want to add it yourself, MU Movies, the sync tool is built in as well here, so you can go and scrape your own artwork. Obviously, that's what I did to create this, and then obviously I had to go through all the missing ones manually. To be honest, I've never known a scraping tool for artwork get 100% of a large collection. It's okay, you're you know, scraping some small systems, but yeah, there's always the odd piece of artwork that it can't find, can't match for whatever reason. So, but yeah, so it's all good. And then yeah, like I say, with Retrorex itself, everything's self-contained, so it's kind of a front end and back end emulator all in one. It's really good. Obviously, I don't want to go into a whole spiel about how good it is. It's just, you know, I like it. It's my preference. I game on Android. I've got an NVIDIA Shield, which I run this on. It runs really well. So yeah, this is just another simple theme I did, but just to kind of show that all the artwork is there, get you up and running. And like I say, if you're new to Retrorex, once you've got your games on there, the first time you launch a game, it'll download the additional emulator that it needs. That's a sort of customized package version of the emulator. You don't need to do anything. It'll just download the APK, prompt you to install it, and then you can play the game. And that's a one-off thing that happens. The other good thing I like about Retrorex is that if you're playing a game and you save your progress, save your state, it saves it up to some cloud storage. You then go to a different device. Say you're playing on Shield, if you have one, or, you know, your Android TV box, and then you go and play on your phone or, you know, tablet or other device. It will sync those save games across, so you can pick up where you left off, which is really good. I really like that feature. Yeah, so I see this is another theme which is using all the same artwork, just a slightly different layout. So yeah, that is Retrorex. That is the collection. That's how to use it. As long as you've got this folder structure on your machine, you should be all good. Like I say, a folder in the root called Retrorex. Under there, then a folder per system, artwork folder, split into images and videos. And as long as it follows these, there's no convention, these folder names and everything's in there, you should be good to go. So hopefully I haven't rambled on too long and made sense. But yeah, any comments, let me know, and enjoy. I'll catch all you guys later.